Welcome to the Seasons of Singleness podcast. I am your hostess with the mostest, Tiffany Sneebros. Seasons of Singleness. Seasons of Singleness. Hey y'all, I'm back. And I know like last episode I definitely dropped the bombshell on y'all and then just dipset. Like, I know y'all probably like, sis, what? Not you done prayed and you got my man, and then went and cheated on Shorty.
What? Hold up.
Yeah, that happened. Again, I was very young. So anything that was said and done prior to me being this age right now, I'm just chalk it up to the fact that I didn't know no better. I ain't know no better.
Girl, bye!
It was what it was. That, and again, like reverting back to the conversation, like it was just a lot of pressure. At the same time, the relationship wasn't necessarily like going the way that I wanted it to. Again, going back to a few episodes ago when I was saying like folks just the campus that I attended, or the college that I attended, the campus was very small. So everybody knew everybody. Everybody was in everybody's business. So folks like really had the nerve, the goal, the gumption to like come up to you and tell you some shit that you just didn't necessarily want to hear at the time, or like you could have kept that to yourself type information. So it was always something, like always something. And I'm like, bro, I don't give a fuck no more. Like, it is what it is. So I cheated like prematurely because it was just like, I don't want to be hurt. So before you can get me, let me get you type of thing.
Bish Whet?
There wasn't any like build up or anything like that. Like it just happened. It was what it was. And I know that hurt him. Again, going back to the conversation before, like we had the convo to say, okay, I'm not like, I don't want to go into a relationship because of what my last relationship did to me and everything. You know, we had that convo. And here I am like, oh no, that's not me. And sure enough, it was you.
Hello, motherfucker.
But it was you, sis. And that was something that I had to ultimately live with. And I remember like how everything happened. We had this date night. We went to Cheesecake Factory. And I remember we had moved off campus. Like this was like winter break, I want to say. And yeah, he dropped me off back home. I get a phone call, I want to say a few minutes after the fact. His line brother had let him know that it had happened. And he's calling, he's upset. We cry, like not me crying, but I cried on the phone. And I remember him just being like, he had got disrespectful at one point, and I was like, listen, like either right now we decide like this is what we want to do and we work towards moving forward, or we just say fuck it and we go our separate ways. And in that moment, we both just kind of like decided, okay, this is something that we want to do because we really, really liked each other. And I was like, all right. Again, in that moment, since I was already in the process of kind of molding myself to be exactly what it is that he needed to be in that moment, I was like, I have no problem with showing you anything. I have no problem with showing you that this is the place that I want to be in. Child, freshman year, nobody saw me. My friends are up, like, and my friends and I, we laugh about certain stuff because it's like freshman year was our brokest years ever.
Oh, I'm broke, baby. I ain't got no money.
But we was everywhere. We up in Eastern Shore, College Park. We was everywhere. And all of that had to be put on hold because I needed to specifically show my boyfriend that I was in it for the long haul, that I was in it for the long like run, and he could fully trust me moving forward. I stopped going to certain places. I stopped showing up to certain places. I stopped going to little, not happy hours, but like lit sessions or game nights and stuff like that. Now, don't get me wrong, like there were times where I definitely popped out, but most of the time, majority of the time, I remember being in a room one weekend and he wasn't even there. Like he wasn't there, but I wanted to show him that I was in it. I'm committed. I'm ready for this commitment. And it worked over time. We decided to, stay in relationship after he graduated, after I got kicked off campus, because I was so focused on everything else rather than my academics and my studies. Um, yeah, got that little loan revoked real quick. They kicked my black ass right off campus, and for good reason. I ain't shaming nobody. Like I get it. I understand. Life lessons, life lessons. But yeah, from there, like I want to say it was, even though like I made a tremendous effort at a very young age to kind of show this person that I am in it, I'm committed, I'm ready. There was still some level of distrust. And again, I get it. I understand, especially with me being the one who committed the act first, right? Um, but even in that, during like after us having a conversation and we're saying like, okay, we're cool, we're gonna move forward, there was still some level of infidelity on both parts. I'm gonna say on both parts because even after that happened, when I found out that he had cheated on me or was cheating on me and still keeping in contact with his exes and things like that. Like a lot of stuff popped out after that initial acts was committed on my part. And yeah, it just got to be extremely toxic. And the one thing that I realized about that relationship specifically is that we did a lot of tit for tat. Like we did a lot of tit for tat. It was, all right, you cheated, I forgive you. Now I'm a cheat because I feel away. Um, or and just vice versa, whatever. I remember us, like we used to get drunk sometimes, like we would go out to the bars and people's parties and stuff like that, and we would fight real bad. We would fight real bad, especially once I got on birth control, like because my hormones were just all over the place, so I would be like super drunk and just like, you fucking around, like just crazy shit. And even with all of that still happening, we still decided that we wanted to move in together,
What?
which we did. Um, had this apartment, very like so small. It was a junior studio apartment.
Damn. I'm sorry.
Um, yeah, yeah, me. And at that time, I didn't have to pay for anything. Like he was just like, all right, whatever. Like the bills and stuff he covered. And like my responsibilities were the necessities. So I had to make sure that everything that we needed was in the house. So he paid for everything. I got everything else. So if he paying the bills, I got the food. I got all of the great stuff. There were times where I took my role so seriously. Like I would go overdraft my accounts all the time just to make sure that we had what we needed.
Like, are you dumb? I think she's dumb. I think she's dumb. I think she's dumb. I think she. Do you think she's dumb?
Again, trying to be like that pick me, pick me, pick me. I'm all you need type of person. And I neglected not only like my finances, but I neglected my friends. I neglected my family. Again, just being in a state where like I'm always around this person, I'm always doing like whatever it is that they want me to do. I'm around for their initiatives and stuff that they want, but I'm not necessarily not I don't want to say not pouring into me, but I'm not necessarily adhering to the things that I wanted for myself. And that caused me to have like a strained relationships with a few folks. And folks just saw me in a different light. Honestly, I feel like I saw myself in a different light. So even if someone in my circle was just like, oh, I didn't see you that way, I didn't necessarily know what was happening or anything that you were going through. Like sometimes, like we ourselves present ourselves to be different. So I know for a fact that, yeah, that was the case for a few of my relationships, and it suffered because I couldn't. And I hate saying this word. Is it terrific? Child, fuck it. I ain't about to say it because y'all not about to embarrass me. But yeah, I just couldn't separate the two, and it was like either this or that for me. And I got really, really lonely. I got really depressed. Again, being on like birth control, my hormones were already all over the place. So it's just a lot of stuff that was going on at once, and I had to endure all of that, which felt like by myself. And when we get into arguments or disagreements, he would always throw the cheating incident back in my face. And at this point, it was like 5 years down the line. And I'm like, bro, like, either get the fuck over it or I'm about to go back out here. And we did that dance for a while, like for a while. On the outside, everything was cool because we built a bond. So if anything, like we had each other's backs, like it was what it was. I will say that we really prioritized the friendship over the relationship ultimately. And again, we were both very, very young when we started this relationship. We met in 2010, and we're together through 2017.
Damn, double homicide.
It's a very long relationship, but we're both very, very young, still trying to figure out life and understand who we are as people. And that's kind of hard to do when you have someone right next to you that's doing the exact same thing, where we both don't understand. We don't understand one another. There is a lot of mistrust. There are a lot of feelings and things towards one another. So it was kind of really hard, really navigating what that looked like for the both of us, I would say. And not to, put words in anybody's mouth or speak about how another person should feel or how they, just whatever. But I can honestly say, like, being a bystander and also being a participant, um, things were just different. It was just different. It's different for all of my relationships, all of them.